So you want to improve your chair skills, but you don't have a lot of space or fancy equipment at home to work with. But there is a piece of equipment that you're probably not using now, which would be fantastic to incorporate into your training. It's cheap to buy, or even simple enough to make. But before I tell you what it is, take 5 seconds, head down that bottom, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll wait. Did you do it? Because I'm not telling you about this equipment if you didn't. Alright, I believe you. Here we go. It's this. A jump rope or a skipping rope. Whatever you want to call it, it's a perfect tool for working on your training right now. For one thing, skipping itself is aerobic. It's a great option to work on your general fitness, especially if it's cold and wet outside and you don't want to go running or anything else that you might do to work on that. Stay indoors and skip. Why not? You're going to get that same stimulus, that same aerobic effect. For another thing, skipping works on 2 muscle groups that are really, really important, particularly in tumbling and jumps. And that's our shoulders, where we create that rotation of the rope, and our lower legs, our calves and our ankles, areas a lot of people want to strengthen and are super important in tumbling, bouncing off your toes the same way that we do when we're skipping. The other great thing is that skipping requires us to maintain good body tension from top to bottom throughout the work, especially if you're going to sustain a long period of time jumping over that rope. We need to keep our core tight, lifting through our shoulders, a little bit like a flyer needs to do in the stunts. We need to keep our legs tight and squeezed together, all things that carry over into tumbling and general routine skills, even into stunting. So it's the perfect exercise to work on a lot of these things. And we're going to look at a couple of different ways that you can use it and build it into your training. So of course the first and simplest thing you can do is just skips, what we call single unders. You could do that for a set amount of time. Let's say you do a minute of skipping, rest for a minute, go a minute again, do it in sets like that. Or you could do it for a prescribed number of actual jumps. Let's say I'm going to do 50 or 100. Those kind of realms are going to start burning your legs a little bit. They're good lengths to go for. Or challenge yourself. How long can you continue for? How many repetitions can you continue for? That's going to push you aerobically. You'll be out of breath and it'll be tough, and it's going to work your shoulders and your lower legs. If you want to strengthen your ankles and your calves and you're bored of doing endless calf raises, switch it up. Skipping is going to really work those fast twitch muscle fibers and that plyometric type skill because we're bouncing, that crosses over right into our tumbling. The way we bounce off the balls of our feet when we're skipping is very similar to the way we bounce off the balls of our feet when we're doing tumbling skills and rebounding on the floor. So you don't need a ton of space. I'm indoors in a bedroom here. I've got to be a bit careful not to knock things with the rope. So what we want to do, there is a technique to this, is keep our elbows in and down, our hands slightly in front of us, keeping our chest up, keeping our core tight. Skip there. It's important to try and stay relaxed. The more you tense up, there's a difference between being tight and being tense. If you tense up, you'll tire much faster. We don't want to be swinging the rope with our arms. I've got quite a good, what's called a speed rope here, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to turn it around. If you've got a heavier, thicker rope, you have to work a little harder, but you can make that choice as well. If you want to work your shoulders and your arms a little more, go with a heavier rope. It takes more effort to turn around. But we're looking for that sustained work, building on our aerobic capacity and our body positioning and our shoulders and lower legs in particular. Now if you want to, of course, you can make it a little more fun, you can make it more challenging by mixing up the way you're skipping. You don't have to just jump with 2 feet. You can start running 1 foot at a time, you can hop on one leg, switch to the other. There are different ways to mix up your footwork to make the whole thing more interesting, especially if you're going to try and skip for 20 minutes straight. You're going to want to make it a little more exciting. If you want to take it to a whole new level, make the exercise way more difficult, find a new skill perhaps to work on, we can go to double unders. Double unders are tough and they're exactly what they sound like. We're going to send the rope under twice for every jump. And it takes a lot of work on timing, it takes a lot of practice to link them together. So you might find it fairly easy to do singles and then throw in a double. Okay, that's a great way to start. Do 3 or 4 singles and then whip that rope twice. You've got to find that timing so you swing the rope through 2 times as you're coming off the floor. It means you have to jump a little higher. So we start to work a little more explosion from our legs, and it definitely, that higher jump starts to work the aerobic system a lot more. You'll find you tire out real fast with double unders. As you get good at them, start trying to put them together. Let's see if I can put them together right now. Not many, okay? And that is trickier when I'm indoors in limited space like this, because I'm thinking about being a little tighter with the rope, not hitting things. The higher jump, the rope is starting to kind of clip the ceiling, so it's tricky to do. Not that I'm making excuses for myself, of course. But that's a great challenge. If you can start linking them together, even if you're doing 2 or 3, it's tough to do. It's a skill that takes time to work on. If you can get to the point where you can continuously do them for big sets, that's great. That's a perfect skill to be working on. You can see, just doing a few, I'm already starting to huff and puff a little bit. Okay, so jumping rope, working towards double unders could be a massive thing that you put into your training and has great crossover into those cheer skills. Give it a try. Let me know how you get on. You can get a rope like this for not a whole lot of money, but you don't need to. You can make your own. There's a ton of tutorials. I'm sure if you go digging how to make a jump rope out of any kind of cable or rope, you might have an old one lying around. Okay? It's not a tricky tool to get a hold of or to create for yourself, but it's absolutely worth bringing into your training to get a massive benefit out of. Let me know how you get on with trying jump rope, trying skipping, adding it into your at-home training. Send me the videos, tag me in them, next_level_cheer on Instagram. I'd love to see how you're getting on with those double unders, especially if you're trying those, and how you've decided to incorporate jumping some rope into your training. If you're a coach out there as well, looking to invest in conditioning equipment for your gym or for your team, you couldn't do much better than this piece of equipment. Again, super cheap and super simple, and you can have your whole team out working on exercises together that will really build on their skills. It's a great thing to look into. If you like the video, make sure you go like the video, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, head on over to buymeacoffee.com/nextlevelcheer and send a little tip, thank you, and support the content creation, everything we're putting out on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next one.